All right, here we go, fellers. Game time. This is to move on to play either Chronic or Razir. So we might see a Daniel Razir's rematch potentially. Wait, we have to vote? Brother, I'm not going to stall it so you guys... I'm not going to stall the series so you can get your predictions in. Dan off to a good start, though. Oh, team colors? Okay, give me a sec. Oh, let's show this flipper set, and then I'll switch. We didn't get a vote? That's... bro, okay. It's not that important. I'm sorry. I'm crushing your dreams. It's not that important. Of course, no one else here. Yeah, of course, Chrono. Dan should have a free net to work with here. And that he does. Also, I don't know if he predicted the spawn of Nwpo. I don't know if I'm overanalyzing that, but... Wait, the ink boost? Wait, who's using ink boost? Oh, no. I didn't even notice. I heard it too, but I, like, tried to block it out. I was just hoping I wasn't hearing that right. I need the VIP or ban, bro. He doesn't know. Oh! Dan actually had the flip as well. Gets the flip and just holds it here. Gets the weird shot. So hard to read. It's a fake with a shot as well. Nwpo should be able to secure this one. He does get one back. It takes a little bit. Bit of a warm-up. Maybe the ink boost is causing a slow start. We'll never know. Good kickoff for Daniel. We'll be able to slot a shot. Nwpo with a good save. Ball lobbed up in front of Nwpo's net. Dan does get the boost control. Does a delayed flip. Might be able to take this one away. Decides against it. Both players actually a bit of hesitation. They just want to make sure they're not going to get beat for free, though. That's just a good shot from Nwpo. Watching that from Dan's POV, it was very tough to read where Nwpo was heading with that one. Gets the flip reset, ends up faking it, and still somehow gets that on the right side. Dan with the full boost once again. Keeps getting possession off of kickoff. And that's just a good shot. Nwpo's still there for it. And he will be able to put it away. Now he's all tied up. Was at a 3-goal disadvantage. And within, I think, 35 seconds, he's come back. Or they have Nwpo playing versus NA players. What a save. Or what a touch, I guess. Versus NA players, the ping for both has to be miserable. Well, I mean, you know, they accept it. They knew, you know. It's not like they came into this, I don't know, with a surprise. They might have to play on a high ping server when you have 16 international players. Most of them are either in Europe or Saudi Arabia already. Ooh, Nwpo gets beat here. Dan will be able to lob it towards net. Nwpo can't get back to it. Yeah, Dan is the only person not in EU or MENA. Gamers 8 is happening in Saudi Arabia. Ooh, great 50 play. from Nwpo. Getting that low 50. Such a hard read as well. And he's done such a good job of this because the way he approaches the ball makes it seem like he could be doing just about anything. Makes it so hard to read. You would think a lot of times he would go for like the high shot or the more powerful shot, but does such a great job of floating behind the ball. Oh my god, he almost got the counter attack too. Consistently floating behind the ball, playing 50s, and getting saves like that. It's going to be hard for Dan to beat that. And again, the fake, but Dan actually reads this one. He is on no boost. This lob of a shot is such good placement, though. He knew Dan stepped off his line just a little too much. And capitalizes instantly. Ooh, Daniel going for the air dribble cringe. He did make contact, and he will get rewarded for it. A common occurrence with the air dribble cringe. You cringe, and you get rewarded. We don't mind that. We truly don't. Nwpo has a flip. Wants to play a 50. You know how deadly he can be with those 50s. Just consistently watching the opponent, waiting to see what they can do, or waiting to see what they are going to do, and then adjusting. Just keeping his eye on them. And again, going to be watching Daniel here. Knows he's off the line once again, and knows if he lobs it past him, if he puts some power on this ball, Daniel will not be able to get to it unless he hovers backwards. But Daniel choosing wrong, challenges early, and plays the ball. It's punished. Dan going for the doubler. That's a great angle. I mean, they make it look so simple, don't they? And it's like this is just... I keep watching every replay because it's basically just a highlight reel for both players at this point. They keep pulling off incredibly impressive shots. They're just racking up the scoreboard. Daniel plays a 50, gets in front of it. Nwpo will get this one to the sidewall, and here's his setup. He don't mind it. Oh, we got the flick over Dan. It's not going to lead to anything because Dan did end up getting that demo. Nwpo probably goes for this. Dan wins a 50, has to dodge a bump. Good single jump to dodge, and he might be able to do something extra with this. Nwpo cannot get the read there. Insane play from Daniel. Once again, this flip reset gets such a high pop on it, and this little extra touch. Again, incredibly hard to read. Both players on a peak fest. Dan taking this one back. Only 20 seconds to go. Just has to waste some time here, and he will be able to take this game number 1. He wants to let this one bounce. Plays a 50. He's going to lead this to the corner. Actually, Nwpo gets a demo. Needs to get this boost. And that he will. Has to play it to the side. What's he going to do? 2 seconds left. Needs a shot. Won't be able to get it. It's going to hit the ground. And Daniel will be able to take game number 1. Fun matchup so far. I mean, I feel like, what? You know, 13 goals and 10, 11 of them were like peak shots, you know? They're like just fun to watch. Good stuff. No GG. It's BG unless I win. They're both just different animals here. Different beasts. Ping check? Chat, I'm not ping checking every 6 seconds. Quit asking me to ping check. Just know that they're both on EU and they're both far away. There you go. I actually did not even mean to click left. I completely meant to click something else, and then I just showed it anyway. I did not pause the game on accident today. Oh, Nwpo to the ground. The ground pinch didn't work out, though. Dan will be able to get a possession. 50 played from Dan once again. And Nwpo will be able to slot that if he shot it a bit lower. Unfortunately for him, he hit the bar instead. And Dan will capitalize on the slight mistake. Was so close on his shot. Dan with the instant turnaround. Dan once again to the sidewall. We've seen it so many times. He loves the setup. We'll play a 50. Nwpo clears it to his sidewall. Now it's his chance. Does he have a flip here? He does, and he's still able to get it. It's like impossible to tell if he actually gets the flip, but it's so clean. Goes for the ground double as well. How do you even manage? Incredible shot. I think I just threw up. I just threw up myself. The shot was so beautiful. Someone checking PC. Something don't look right. Dan, back to the ceiling. Nwpo fakes the challenge off the ceiling and gets rewarded with a possession. Dan's still under this ball. Nwpo, does he have enough? The boost does not spawn in time. Dan will go quickly at this, knowing that that boost just spawned. Oh, he goes for it. Be off the sidewall. Nwpo now has a free possession. Dan probably it wasn't his best play. Giving a free ball to him. Gets the flip. It's a nice shot, but Dan is ready for it. Played it patiently. Didn't go off the line. We saw that plenty of times in game one. Gave Nwpo a chance to get right back into it. Dan with the boost advantage. Did collect most of them, but Nwpo will be able to get some pads on his way back here. Decides against going for the big boost and actually plays defense off of the sidewall, the back wall, which is pretty interesting. And once more, Nwpo counterattacks again on Dan. This is a great demo from him. Just full speed, aggressive play, making sure Dan doesn't get the space that he's trying to create. It leads to a goal. And once again, beautiful play off of kickoff. Playing it pretty slow, actually. You know, plays a 50. Quick lob. Catches Dan off guard a little bit. Probably expects a shot there immediately. But Nwpo knows better. Daniel's probably going to go straight back there with no boost. Most logical play a lot of times. Good first touch. Flip reset. Gets it over one, and he's going to get the bump as well. It's going bar down. Nwpo showing off some skills in game number 2. My God. Bro's warmed up. Dan might be rewarded with a kickoff goal. Not quite. Has to go again. Nwpo still on this. Good 50 from Dan. Has to dodge a bump as well. And you could see that wave dash from Nwpo. The recovery was so good. He dives at the ball, but still wave dashes backwards to stay in the play. He's done it plenty of times. But this is the one time he's actually given Dan space. Nwpo's still able to get that save. Dan will take it back once more. He's playing off the ceiling. It's a pretty weird spot to be in, but he will gain possession from it. Has to dodge a bump, or at least a demo. He was getting absolutely destroyed there with some bumps. You know, Dan kind of got him for a second there. But I think he realized his mistake shortly after. I think for a second there, Dan actually won that encounter. But it was short-lived, about 0.3 seconds later. Oh, great 50. And he keeps the flip to catch a wave dash afterwards. This is such a stretch for Dan, but he still just barely gets to it. Great play on the 50 once more. And this really has just turned into a game of 50s. The control has gone either way. Each player focusing so hard. The shot to the right side. Oh, it's actually going into the middle of the net. Dan can't get a great recovery from Nwpo. Gets possession exactly where he wants it. Dan, already off the ceiling, does commit. And Nwpo sees it. He's just going to wait for the bounce. And slots it home. 36 seconds left. Dan down 4 goals. It would be an incredibly hard game to come back from. We will need a kickoff goal here. Pretty good start for Dan. If you put your chain of points on Dan, you wouldn't mind that. You truly won't. He probably needs one more, though. Unfortunately for him. Actually, he did get possession here. But he needs to move quick. 24 seconds. He needs to make a miracle happen. That ball bouncing off the sidewall wastes like 5 more seconds. Still might have more time than we might think. Still 12 seconds left, and that is plenty of time to get 2 more goals. Dan actually opting to play that one slow works out in his favor. Another kickoff win. Can he get the flick, though? Has to flick it precisely. Great placement from Dan once again. 36 seconds, was down 4 goals. Now is 7 seconds left. He only needs 1. Fake kickoff from Nwpo gives Dan possession. Is this what he wanted? Dan with a flip. Nwpo off the backboard. The fake. Dan has it. He does it. With 0 seconds to go, Daniel ties it. Incredible stuff from Dan the man. But he has to get 1 more if he wants the game. Is the comeback all for nothing? Or will he make the impossible happen? Nwpo to the corner. Dan wants a clear. Nwpo will actually be here in time. Weak first touch. 50 played. Dan with the advantage, it looks like. This ball will bounce out just a bit. And Nwpo, actually, he does play it. We're going back to the other side. And this is the ball Dan wants. Up to the sky. Nwpo off the ceiling. Challenges it. Commits. Weird ball for Nwpo once again. Dan still gets a piece of it. Wants the boost instead. Has to dodge a bump. That's a good job of that. Ooh, Nwpo almost caught him off guard. Uh-oh, that's not the play that he wants. In Dan's corner, the commit was too hard. No touch on the ball. And Dan is able to roll it away. An incredible comeback. 36 seconds left to go. 4 goals down. And Daniel comes back and ties it up. Still getting that OT goal as well. Dan takes game number 2, and he's on triple match point here. Honestly, quite a miracle of a game. Quite a miracle. Yeah, that one might be a bit of a tilter, if I do say so myself. Apparently, Chronic is up 2-0 in his series as well. Nwpo should get one right off the bat here. Yep, I think he's tilted. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that does happen. And, you know, actually, I might save that. No, he didn't. A loss like that is why my 1v1 career ended in 2016. Because I did something similar to what I witnessed in Game 2. I was on the losing end of it. And after that, I realized I wasn't cut out for once. Let's not get too crazy, though. Nwpo's still in this one. Just have a bit of a mistouch there. But, again, it's 1v1s. Lots of time left. Dan, obviously, a great player, a great opponent. But anything is possible. If Dan can come back from a 4-goal deficit, Nwpo should be able to reverse sweep as well. That is a great catch from Daniel, though. It's going to be hard when Daniel's this accurate. Oh, that's it. It's just a perfect kickoff. Dan gets the flip. Oh, he uses it perfectly. We'll be able to play a 52. Nwpo has to put this one away. It's a little bit of extra power on the flick. And he's right back into this one. Dan, another chance at a kickoff goal, and he will seal the deal right back to a 3-goal deficit. Lots of loose kickoffs going in Daniel's favor. Let's see if anything's different on this one. Dan does a good job. He might fake and go for the boost. Looks like he's smarter than I might be. Does opt to go for the ball instead. Daniel knowing Nwpo is low on boost. Just trying to keep putting him in awkward spots. Nwpo will chase a bump here. Dan takes it to the ceiling. This is a setup he loves to see. He's going to play it extremely odd. Probably going for an air dribble bump there, but Nwpo staying on that back wall made it so hard for him, and Daniel realized his mistake just a little too late. Good adjustment from Nwpo there. And this kickoff is not as bad as some of the others we have seen. Good save off of his own backboard. Dan with a good setup. We'll play a 50, and Nwpo again does such a good job. When he's on his goal line, he does such a good job of making really solid contact with the ball to where it actually flings out to a corner. Well, you know, it's very tough to actually make the 50 go your way when that offensive player is in control like that. But Nwpo does an incredible job of keeping it out. Let's see if he plays a 50 once more. And just, that's exactly what I'm talking about. See, Daniel gets rewarded for that. But it was a little scary. He might have shit his pants just a little bit, per se. Per chance. But usually, Nwpo on like the defensive end of that will like fling that to a corner. Dan already up in the air. It's a great setup. The flick too high, but it will cause Nwpo to use some boost. And they're going to reset possession once again. Dan takes it high. Nwpo's already there. Does he have a flip? Pretty hard to tell. Nwpo chasing a demo. Can't quite get it. Dan will be in control once again. Has the flip. Goes underneath. Dan slams his head, but he still secures his 6th. And Nwpo calling the FF. Says GG's. He's no longer a believer. Dan doing a good job of getting that one done. And he's going to move on versus the loser of Raziers and Chronic.